G'day guys, welcome back to another video with Eno here from Fantasy Take TV. Yes, I'm actually making another BBL video. I know it's crazy, and you can probably see why. I'm ranked 202nd, so look, if I was 20k, I'd probably give up and wouldn't be doing this. But let's be honest, after a pretty good round one, it's I think I tweeted it sucked me into now probably caring for a few more weeks, and didn't plan on doing it. Didn't even plan on playing the game at all. So we'll see how we go. Obviously, the next round starts tonight, so I'm just making a quick video just now before sort of the next round starts. Sort of quick with BBL, quick turnaround. You pretty much only get, half a day or so to do your trades and see what's happening. But scored 1,317 or 1,317, and that was, just about 200 for round one. So pretty happy, I guess, obviously, with how it went. Sort of a couple of decisions sticking with Joe Clark. Obviously got that massive ton yesterday against the Canes. It was a good knock. He got dropped a couple of times. He was a bit fortunate along the innings, but you always got to be, really, when you make 100 in a T20 game. I don't think anyone's made a clean 100 or even any big score really without some sort of luck. But he did bat really well. The bowlers on the Hurricanes a bit disappointing, but we'll get to that later. That is T20 cricket. Speaking of disappointing, the Thunder batters. So Jason Sanger and Alex Hales. I think Alex Hales is one of the most owned players in the game, so I'm not too concerned about that. Obviously, he's a bit annoying, him dropping some poor scores and will drop a bit of cash. But Sanger, sort of a guy paid up a bit for. He's only bowled, I think it was 2 overs in the first game and 1 in the second, from memory, but not as much as obviously you'd like. And then he had a decent knock in the first innings, and I mean, like every Thunder batsman last night, threw their wicket away. With some good bowling, but a lot of rash shots, sort of fishing outside off, and I think it's like 7 or 8 caught behind, which is just ridiculous. But so a bit disappointed, but obviously with another double coming up, you can't get rid of them. Matty Short, obviously glad I stuck with him as sort of another high-priced player. Got a wicket himself, has been good in the field to go along, I think, with his 80-odd, or I think it was 84 he got in the first game. Not too much in the second with the bat, and then Sam's just sort of a reliable captaincy option. I sort of did a few loops with Gilks, Stoinis and Wood in the first, because they were obviously playing the very first game of the tournament. Gilks got 0, Stoinis had COVID rumours, and then he got a duck and then didn't bowl and didn't field either in that game. And then I was sort of worried if he was even going to play at all in the second game. And then Wood was actually really disappointing as well in his first game, but I thought with the role and sort of a fast-paced bowler, he can pick up some cheap wickets, and that's what he did in his second game. So I sort of had to decide between Stoinis and Wood. Well, actually, sort of all of them. I had to field 2 out of the 3, and then I made, I guess, the right call in sticking with Wood and Gilks, although Gilks really didn't do anything. Obviously, just got a catch, and he got 2 ducks himself. But obviously, the optimal or the best play would have been to have had Clark in the wicket-keeper line, which I'm sure probably a lot of people that went with Clark would have done. And then, have someone else instead of Sanger, like a Thornton or something, of course, who went big, or, even a Coulter Nile, who a lot of us missed out on. But, can't be too upset. I'm pretty happy with the batting line. I mean, batsmen haven't scored too heavily so far. Obviously, a couple of big scores that I had in my team, I think, with Short and Clark having good innings. But other than that, there hasn't been a lot to sort of write home about. A few lower scores and just some weird games so far. But the bowlers have been absolutely cooking. Rashid, 102 from one game, really. Didn't bowl in the second. Bolt was probably underwhelming for his price, really. You could have probably gone without him. You take 100, of course, in a double, but, Wood got just about the same. So, again, somewhere where I could have made up some extra points picking someone else, but I'm still happy with that. Faruqi, he looks really, really good. I haven't obviously seen any of him until the last couple of games, but I think he's only 22, and he's just able to hit that Yorker more often than not, and that's obviously what you need to do in T20, and he just attacks the stumps, and he's got good variation too with some slow balls and stuff, and for a short fella, it's actually quite remarkable. So he's going to be awesome. So obviously keeping him with another double. Zampa was good, ever reliable. I think he took his 100th wicket in the T20 during the last couple of games. And then, as I said, looped Wood. And I went with Brown and I went with Hatzoglu as well as sort of guys that'll play on my bench. But I am really thin there. Like, I did spend up quite a bit on some big guys. But part of it was thinking, with my trades that I'll show you now, that I obviously was going to need a bit of cash to get some some Scorchers players, obviously for their double this week, that are a bit more pricey, and I wanted to sort of leave myself open if I wanted to get a Faf, Duplessis, and obviously all their bowlers are quite expensive too. I'd have the choice. Ideally, I'd actually like to hold Joe Clark, but I just think he has to go with the bye, and there's a lot of money in him. Bolt has to go as well with the bye. And then I've sort of tossing up between Zampa and Wood. I just think Wood, look, he's probably got still a decent role and isn't going to lose his spot, but Zampa's just ever reliable, and in a single, I'm not too upset with fielding him when that comes. For getting in, obviously, it's just going to be some Scorchers players. And I've already got Inglis with the bat, and obviously Hatzoglu, who hopefully plays. I think I'm just going to go 3 bowlers, and I've really obviously been tossing up. And look, we'll probably wait to see the lineup in an hour or so before the game. But I think I'm just going to go Agar. I think Agar's pretty much locked. Ty, pretty much same. So it's more this spot with Richardson coming off his injury, that he's sort of had problems with his heel, and whether or not he's sort of 100% fit to play both games in the double, which is obviously what we want. I'll just move this screen over. So, look, at this stage, that's what I'm going with. I'm just going to go with that. Have Inglis, literally have only one batter from the Scorchers, which could burn me. You know, a lot of people are going to go Faf, but if I do these particular trades, I can't quite afford him. You know, I'm still 15k short here. I don't really like or don't really care much for going like a Lith or, a Bancroft or something like that. I was going to start Bancroft almost, and sort of came on my bench, but decided against it. I just don't see too much upside with him, and yeah, I don't know. Faf's obviously out of reach here. I think the only way to get him, I actually think I'm still, if I reset that and trade Zampa instead, I'm still short, if I trade Zampa instead of Wood. So I'd have to really boost to get him, or drop a tie, not go a tie, go a Richardson, and then go a Faf, from Zampa. I think I can, just avoid him there if I wanted to get him. So I don't think it's really optimal for me. Like 180k for a batsman. I know Faf's a world-class player and has been for years, but he is 38. And I know that doesn't mean as much in cricket and as a batsman, but, for 2 games, sort of banking on or pretty much needing him to get a 50 really in one of them, a decent score to sort of be worth it. And I'm probably more likely to bet against that. I just think there's a lot more safeness and also upside with bowlers. So I'm probably going to stick with those initial trades. If I can reset that, go Wood, and then Ty. And it's sort of just really, as I said, just a toss up with Richo, whether I stick with him once the sort of teams are announced and whatnot, pretty soon. So I think for VC, I think I'm going to go Agar at this stage. And then, if I'm really keen to captain Faruqi if it gets to that. I kind of really want to anyway. It's annoying that they're not playing first, but that's the way it is. And sort of stick with that. Play Inglis, probably just, bench Gilks. Don't really want to see him on my field. I think, Inglis is a little bit more upside there. And then, we'll see what we go with next week. Probably a boost next week. Get all these Thunder guys out. Maybe keep a Faruqi, get, these 3 out and Gilks or something, and get some Brisbane Heat guys who have their double, and then possibly some Sixers as well who have theirs sort of after that. But that's a video. Let me know what you think. For trades, that's what you would do with my situation. Let me know what you're doing as well with yours, just loading up Scorchers, or are you sort of looking a bit further ahead? I could be just get 2 Scorchers and sort of look ahead and get, a Brisbane Heat player maybe, but I think I'm just going to go all out in the Scorchers and hope they play a couple of good games. They've obviously got the first one at home tonight against the Sixers, and then the second one against Hobart down in Tassie, who just didn't look too good last night. So, we'll go with that. Let me know how you went in round 1, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers. Got the mojo deals, we been tripping like pulling out the coupe at the light.